Hey everyone, hope you're doing well, and I hope your Halloween event is going well so far, and that you've been able to get quite a few skins along the way. What I wanted to do today is make a video and sort of rank all the Halloween skins from the perspective of how the unit fits into their new faction. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. First up on my list is Turbo, and Turbo is one of the two unique units you can get from this event. She's fairly unique. She's got pretty good stats, except for her Valor. She actually has the lowest base Valor in the game. But other than that, everything else is pretty good. There's two really unique things about Turbo, and the first of which is, as I said in previous videos, she's 100% bulletproof. She's the only one in the game who is, and that alone actually brings a lot of value to her, especially when going up against Marauders. The second thing is that she has a very slow, the slowest wind-up animation for her critical attacks, which sucks given that she has a 30% base ability to do a critical strike. However, with her final ability unlocked, she's able to knock back enemies at a distance that's relative to how much Valor that she has. I think it's like 10 distance units per 90 Valor, meaning that if you did go like for this crit build on her, she can knock back enemies really far way off screen, which is kind of funny to see. This works well against enemies that are very sturdy but susceptible to knockback. In particular, it does a great job against SWAT zombies and against twin zombies. However, just the fact that her crit strikes are just so slow, she's not really all that useful, and aside from fighting Marauders. But still, that being said, she does fill some niche roles very nicely. She is exceptional to have for the Corn Farm event. So yeah, all in all, she's a good catch to have. So I'm actually going to give her an A rating. Now, when it comes to her new college skin counterpart, that was one of the two skins released for this year. Pretty much the same thing. I think she fits into college marginally better than she does with the Northerners. And I say that because college is a faction that's based around boosting charisma. Charisma boosts Valor, which is her weakest stat. Therefore, it kind of fills in a hole there. So yeah, slightly better as a college skin. But if you don't get that and you just have the normal one, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Next up is Andrea, who is the other unique unit for the faction. And Andrea, sadly, I think is a terrible character as she stands right now. I think she looks amazing. I wish she would work. Of all the characters in the game, I wish Andrea would be the one that, performs the best. I think she looks awesome. However, there's just too many conflicting abilities within her to really make her work. So to explain that, first of all, she has a stealth perk. She's the only one that has a stealth perk besides the agents. The stealth ability is great, except for the fact that, for one, she has a prep time of 45 seconds, which is very slow. So even with prep time cooldown, it's really hard to get her out the door right away, which is kind of what you want for characters who have the stealth perk. Additionally, her final ability unlocked makes it so that she fires an explosive arrow on crit strikes. The explosive arrow will actually attract all zombies anyways, which sort of makes the whole point of being stealthy completely pointless. It's sort of like, having someone leave the bus all stealthy and ninja-like, only to fire an explosive arrow alerting the whole neighborhood to your presence. So it just sort of doesn't kind of add up there. So yeah, that doesn't make sense. Additionally, Andrea herself, with all that aside, is still a very lackluster character. She is one of the 3 snipers in the game, but she has the shortest range of the 3 snipers. Her range really puts her on par with some of the other shooters as opposed to Charlotte or with Polina. Her rate of fire is also exceptionally slow. I think she might have the slowest rate of fire in the game, but that, with that being said, she doesn't have any kind of massive damage potential given that. So her DPS is actually very low. And, just to top it all off, she's actually a pretty slow mover as well. So really, she just underperforms in just about every way, which is too bad. So therefore, she's at the bottom.
Though I know I should be wary, Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Next up is Beetle, which is Carlos's Psycho skin, and I love Beetle. I think he's great. He fills in a very good role with the Psychos, being a ranged DPSer, which is something that they're sorely lacking, having Austin as their only ranged DPS. So yeah, there's not really much to say about him. I think I'm going to put him right there at the top. All in all, a great character. He has a cheap courage cost, which means he has the cheapest courage costs on the faction, and he doesn't even really compete with Austin, because since Austin uses rage and he uses courage, he just fills in a very nice role in a great way, and is an excellent addition to the Psychos team. So I think he's the best character to have in total from this event this year. Clown Chopper. He's okay. The thing about the psychos that you get from this event, these two guys, is that, and Beetle as well, is that you need them in order to have a full roster of psychos anyways. So in a way, he, or at least the other two guys, are needed if you want to have 5 for 5 psychos. So there is sort of an aspect of necessity in collecting him, or one or two of the others. But of the 3 psychos available, I would say he's the weakest one. He is good in that he's a heavyweight and he can kind of like hold the front line while you send out more berserkers and more saws into the meat grinder. And he sort of, he gets there up front. He has that nice self heal, but he's kind of tough to get out the door. He doesn't do really well for the early game because he takes a long time to get out, and he's a little bit expensive. So yeah, he's great. He's not the best, but I'd put them there in the C rating. I would rank him lower if it was easier to get more psycho units, but since you do sort of want to have him just to get the 5 for 5, if you're looking for that and you don't have it yet, I'll put him in the C rank tier. Court Jester. I think this guy, first of all, I think he looks awesome. He's one of the coolest looking units in the game, maybe the coolest looking units. He just looks so menacing in this skin. Very cool looking. I like him. I think he's great. I think he's better than Clown Chopper. He fills in some nice roles as well. Very similar to Clown Chopper, but I think he does it better. So first of all, he's the only psycho that has range resistance, which is nice. He has that extra shield for padding, which is also very good. I just think he's a better, more sustainable frontline fighter heavyweight than Chopper. So I think he's just a better pick overall. His downside is that he blows up when he dies, which could kills off, a lot of your other frontline melee units, which is kind of crappy given that psychos are very, very heavily melee focused. So, there is a bit of a downside to that. But overall, I think he's a great addition and well worth having. Of the two, I would definitely want to have, I think Court Jester is the better pick overall. Next up is Nurse Hirsch, and I got her this year. I didn't have her previously, so I haven't had too much time to mess around with it. I gotta say, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how she's performed overall, and I think some of that has to go towards the Northerners 5 for 5 bonus of courage refunding for units that cost more than 20. So my problem with Nurse Hirsch is, first of all, Medic is not a very good unit. My problem with her is twofold. One is that she has a terrible AI with her med pack drops, but the other is that she's just so expensive for what she brings. But her being the Northerners team, at least you get a refunding for some of that courage that you use to spend on her, making her a little more worthwhile than usual. The good thing about Nurse Hirsch is that she combos very well. If you don't have any other Northerners, it's a very exclusive faction. She does go well with Chopper's default Northerner skin, so if nothing else, she goes well with him. Overall though, just because Medic is just such a bad unit, I'm going to put her down here. I do like her though for, reasons. I like the strong Velma vibes. That's awesome. But yeah, she gets a D rating from me. Worthy is next, and I like to knock on his name. I like calling him worthless, but he actually is not worthless. He certainly is worthy. He's not as good as his redneck skin or as his mechanic skin, but he is great on the Northerners team because it makes it so much easier and faster to proc the 3-man bonus, which is what you really want from the Northerners. He combos very well with Lester in achieving that. So, and I think that's kind of like the formula for people who clear the Metro runs on record times is by using him along with Lester. So pretty much how it works is that you're going to send it on Northerner, not him, not Lester. Then you're going to send him out as the second, as your second unit, quickly followed by Lester, who's then going to get that 3-man bonus of having a guaranteed crit strike on his first attack, which is going to have a very good burst damage potential. So that being said, it's great. Yeah, he's just a very good fit for the Northerners role, and I think he's actually very good to have. So I'm going to put him up here in the A rating. He's probably borderline B, but I would say he's good enough to be A. I like him. Last on the list is Charlotte, and Charlotte is that one character everybody loves to see in the GIF format. Yeah, I love the outfit. It's awesome. But her effectiveness is, that's kind of what we're looking at here. She is on the Patriot skin, and she fills in a very good role with the Patriots being their only sniper. She's able to DPS down, enemies from the back. Her being in the back means that she's going to be sticking onto the field a little bit longer, which means you're going to be able to enjoy, or at least have an easier time upholding the 3-man bonus of double fire damage for the Patriots faction. Now, like with just about all other Patriots, she has that lingering problem that she inflicts no fire damage of her own, which sucks. But she's not the worst one. I think she fills in the role well. The real problem with Bunny Charlotte is that she has another Patriot skin. So this is why I have 2 of them. So it really comes down to if you already have her other skin or not. There is a 4th of July skin that she has available, and if you have that, then getting her bunny outfit is actually pretty useless. So I'm going to say that if you do have the 4th of July Charlotte skin, then getting this one is utterly useless because it does nothing other than the cosmetic switch over. If you don't have it, and this is your only, or the only Patriot skin that you have for her, then I would say she's pretty good, and I would put her probably up at the B tier. I don't rank her higher just because Patriots, you want, the only person that does fire damage is the flamethrower as Montag. But again, Patriots don't have any other snipers or any real powerful range units besides Montag. So yeah, she fills in a good spot there quite nicely. That's about it for all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments on where you would rank these characters. If you collected them all, that's great. If you haven't, I wouldn't worry too much. There's always going to be another Halloween. Again, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.